In the darkness of the night, R613 passes beneath the 51-year-old NRG loadout on the former L&N's Poor Fork Range. We find ourselves in Nolensburg, Kentucky this afternoon as the sun quickly fades from the eastern Kentucky landscape, paired with the sound of the oncoming R613 quickly approaching. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another Railfan Micah Turner adventure. As you can see, or maybe not, we are at NRG just after sunset as R613 has just arrived with 100 empties ready for loading. Tonight, we are going to sit back and watch a little flood loading at CSX's oldest active loadout. My goal is to step back and allow you to hear the sights and sounds that comes with this aspect of eastern Kentucky. I'll chime in from time to time with some background information, but I'll remain mostly quiet for your entertainment. With the train spotted, the chute is positioned over top of the first coal car as the loading process begins. Here in the coalfields, coal is moving 24/7, whether it be by road or rail. When there's a ship waiting at port, coal can quickly become a hot commodity as seen here. NRG doesn't typically load trains at night, however 4th Gen Fuels had a 180 car order for Dofasco, a steelmaking company located in Ontario, Canada. With the ship awaiting at port, The first 100 cars were brought down to load overnight, followed by the other 80 the next day. Keep in mind that loading coal in the dark also means that visibility is much more limited. That may be the case tonight, but I wanted to bring y'all an authentic experience, and I hope you enjoy the sights and sounds that comes with loading coal. Take the time to pay close attention to the smaller details, such as the silhouettes of the moving coal cars or the fireflies that pass in front of the camera. It's these small details that adds the realism of our region that I really appreciate. The Appalachian region is known for its wildlife, and we actually encountered a black bear on our hike down to the tipple. Black bears are often more scared of you than you are of them, however, and he quickly scampered up the hill and out of sight. It's just a common part of life for most folks around here. As mentioned before, NRG is the oldest active coal tipple on the CSX system, built in 1974. The original structure that was located here was much older, yet around that time it was disassembled and taken elsewhere for service, in which NRG soon replaced. NRG is owned and operated by 4th Gen Fuels, with the coal washed and processed at their nearby Tots Tipple, in which once loaded single car orders itself up into the mid to late 2000s. NRG is actually still considered a fast load tipple and is a prime example of one of the earliest forms of flood loading. Modern flood loaders have scales built in to regulate how much coal passes through at each press of a button to open the chute. NRG has none of that, and the chute has to be manually opened and closed for each coal car that passes underneath. As a result, the excess coal that falls through once the chute is closed begins filling the next car through the overflow chute. The overflow aspect is a really neat operation to observe, of which can be seen here in the shadows. As the night drug on, each car would load one by one as loadout operator Brian Lane worked his magic. The 100-car train began loading just after 9:30 and wouldn't finish until nearly 2:30 the next morning, where our old pal the Dragon and conductor Zach Hendrickson would tie the loads down in Chad. By the following evening, all 180 loads would be staged in Chad for accompanying crews to take back to Corbin and further north to the Great Lakes, where the coal would then be transloaded onto a ship and taken on up into Canada. Thank you all so much for tuning into this nighttime adventure at NRG. I hope you enjoyed your time with us on the Poor Fork tonight, and if you liked what you've seen, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, from the coalfields, this is Railfan Micah Turner. God bless y'all.